Biggest news! The complete guide to BTS's Love Yourself Her album. Collaboration with the Chainsmokers confirmed.
As many ARMY and K-pop fans know, September 2018 is a huge month for the BTS comeback, and the Chainsmokers have confirmed their collaboration on at least one track or something like that on the Her Love Yourself Serendipity album. Did I get that right?
Well, Serendipity is not the album. They contributed a new track titled The Best of Me. Producer and singer Andrew Taggart is on the rap line.
Something came up today, as a matter of fact, that puts their collaboration a little bit in jeopardy, or at least sales of the album could now be in flux because of this particular thing that the Chainsmokers said during an interview while they were in China. I have a transcription of the interview right here. The interviewer asked Alex Pall, "During tours, do you bring your dog along with you?" Alex Pall answered, "I try to, but she's really ill-behaved. I mean, if she could come anywhere, I'd bring her to, well, I don't know if I'd bring her to China." Referring to, of course, that Chinese people sometimes eat dog.
That is what he's referring to, because he actually also made a post later on saying and stating that he read about dogs being slaughtered in certain provinces, and so he tweeted at a later time to promote StopYulinForever.org.
Yeah, in fact, he did post an apology on Twitter about an hour ago from the filming of this, apologizing for the insensitive remark and stating that it is a fact that people in China do eat dogs. And you're right, there are certain areas. In fact, Vice did a documentary on this where a huge festival of people slaughter dog, cook dog, all in a tent, and if you go and interview some of the people in China that are doing the cooking or the preparing, they defend their right to eat whatever they want. So it is true. And this happens in Korea too. I mean, it's not really popular anymore, but you and I, see, that's the thing is, if you haven't been to these countries, it's very easy to get offended immediately by the slightest sensitivity. How do you think this is going to affect the BTS Love Yourself album now that Chainsmokers are confirmed to be a part of it?
I am hoping that it doesn't affect it too much, because people really like the Chainsmokers internationally overall. People like their music.
I think they went down a notch because of this though.
I do.
In Asia.
I've heard that some pre-orders have been canceled, and some people are in Asia are like, oh my goodness, no, we're pulling our pre-order. I don't want this album. But are you really going to change your whole stance because of one song and one moment?
Even what you just said right there gave me a little bit of a shock to the system, because nobody wants to see BTS's album sales numbers go down. And I went, oh shit, because you said that some people might have already canceled their pre-order. Yeah, this is a big deal for the BTS comeback. They're very careful about choosing who they're going to put on their album, and Chainsmokers is probably one of the only groups going to be featured, and it's a big deal for them. They're trying to expand their market by using Chainsmokers.
Well, and BTS is very knowledgeable and very articulate in all of their interviews, and they're very aware of how they present themselves. And I gotta be honest, a lot of people, especially white people from the West, are very outspoken. We say whatever is on our mind. We don't necessarily think about all the consequences, and often because of that, we come out sounding like ignorant, arrogant pricks.
And I don't want to take sides here, but Alex Pall made a big mistake. He fucked up by doing this because he was in Asia, and it's an actual Chinese person interviewing him, not just some Chinese American, but a guy in China, because you see the photo of the interview, the still, because the video's been since deleted. As soon as he says it, the interviewer turns and looks at the camera like, oh shit, did you just say that? I can't believe you just said that, because probably 1 million people in China are watching or heard it. Or now it's blown up even bigger, but I mean, if it was going live or however it was being broadcast, I mean, he should have been prepped.
I think that a lot of Western artists just aren't aware how sensitive and how much people are reading into interviews and everything that people say and do. K-pop stars are very aware of it, but Western audiences, Western artists are not as aware of it. Part of the problem is that he did it in a joking manner and that he laughed about it.
The thing is, he doesn't realize how many people are watching. I mean, this is the thing. Once you go to Asia, all of a sudden, especially if you're famous like the Chainsmokers are famous, millions of people are going to watch what you say. So you have to have almost everything scripted or be briefed for an interview and for the information that you're going to give out, you need to see all the questions in advance, and you can't have any surprises, because this was a surprise. He very innocently says this. And you know what? I hate to say this, but if I had a dog, I'd have to think very carefully before going to any place. And that includes all countries, not just an Asian country. So he said it off the cuff, and he said it very quickly. They eat dog in China.
The other aspect of this that kind of totally got lost with all of this is Alex Paul's dog's named Cheddar. So already he has a joke about his dog. You know, he gave his dog a food name. So he probably was joking about it, all things considered, and thought it was a funny, you know, I wouldn't bring my dog to Cheddar to China because cheddar, you eat cheddar cheese.
The world is so big and the internet is so connected and people have gotten hypersensitive. I'm not saying we shouldn't be sensitive either. I like that we've softened and we've become more aware of each other's flaws. For 100,000 people or whatever the number is to jump on him for this, that's their right, that's their opinion. We're also allowed to have an opinion too, but I think it's good to be informed. And the vast majority of Chinese, if I had to guess, because I don't have any concrete numbers, don't eat dog. It's just isolated into a certain area, and they did it a long time ago because people were hungry. Koreans too, and that's why it's not popular anymore, because Koreans realize that it's not a good thing culturally and socially, so therefore 99+% of Koreans don't eat dog anymore, even though it does still exist.
Well, and there are a lot of different countries that have specialty foods that are considered not okay to other cultures. The problem with the dog meat festival is the festival and the slaughtering and the atrocities that happen that surround the whole thing. I personally don't feel that he's bad to draw attention to it. I think that he could have done it in a slightly more tasteful manner. However, I don't think that this is a reason to cancel your pre-order of the Her album, because if you're going to cancel it because the Chainsmokers, then you should have already canceled it, finding out that the Chainsmokers were on the album because you don't like Chainsmokers music and not because how you feel about what he said in the course of 10 seconds in an interview.
Obviously, everyone has an opinion about this. Comments below your opinion about Alex Paul making a racist joke or somewhat racist joke about not bringing his dog to China. If I were him, I'd think about not bringing my dog either. I mean, that's just me. I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It's a long trip, first of all. Like, are they going to go in the crate or are they going to go underneath the sea? I mean, how big's his dog? Like,
and there's a lot of immigration policies and all of that quarantine. There's so many other aspects he could have talked about. The way that he did it was just not the best.
Some people are happy that he apologized. Others are like, oh, your apology's fake. But at least he did come out right away and say something. So his intention is not to be racist, even if it did come off that way. Comment, you guys. Let us know what you think about this. Click the like button. Thank you for supporting us here at HallyuBack. Click the bell for notifications. Check out the link to K-Gon. Don't forget to subscribe for more HallyuBack news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.